Once you've created your project on Premiere, when you go to the launch page, you'll see all of the projects that you've been working on. So it could be in this file. Remember, Premiere shows you the last 10 projects that were worked on. So if it's not in this launch page, then double click into your folder. And you should, if you did it correctly, should see the project you're working on. So here's my folder. And then you know it's a Premiere file when it has this icon, this PR project. So you could double click it from here as well in case it's not launched on your, it's not on the front page there. So in our case, we're going to double click on it. We are going to be working in the Prelude workspace. So this is what it's going to look like. This over here is your bin. This is your program or your source monitor, and then this is your timeline where you're going to put your shots. You can see your audio here on the volume unit on the right side. So the first thing we're going to do is import our shots. So at the bottom of our taskbar, there is a little folder icon. So this is the way I do it, prefer to do it. You could also click that import media button on there if you wanted to. I usually just drop and drag. So I'm only going to drag. We don't want our Premiere project. We want just the clips that we're using. So then I'm going to grab them all and drag them in, and it shows up in the bin here. You don't have to grab them all at once. You can grab them one at a time and then drag as you go. It doesn't matter. So then this is listed here under projects. So if you get lost, all these buttons up here, media browser shows you your file system, markers, metadata. So really you should be in the one that says project, and then that will show you your bin. Down here at the bottom are little icons that change how you view it. If you want to view it like this, you can view it as a list, and then you can see how long it is, media duration. I like icon view. If you want to zoom, this adjusts the size here so you could see how big or small your icons, if that makes it easier for you. I prefer it to be like this. And then our timeline. So we're going to start with scuba diving. So we're going to double click on that one. It's going to open it in this panel here, which you can see it says source and program. Program is your timeline, which has nothing right now. When I click on source, it shows me the video that I launched out of my bin. This is your scrubber. It shows you at the beginning and it shows you at the end on there, and you could hear the audio, see the audio moving as you go. So I'm going to find the beginning of the clip that I want. In this case, let's say right about here when that fish comes across those scuba divers. And so I'm going to hit I on the keyboard or this button here to mark an in. And it'll show you mark in when you hover over it, and it says I is the shortcut. I on the keyboard. And then now I'm going to find the end. So I'm going to move that blue scrubber line to, let's say, here. And I'm going to hit O for out or here. And so when you see it, you see this part highlighted. This is the part I want. I don't want the whole thing. If I dragged without marking in and out to the timeline, it would do the whole thing. In this case, I'm giving it a specific range that I want. And then literally with my left click, I'm going to drag it to my timeline and drop it down. And so you see it over here. Down here at the bottom of your timeline is your zoom. And again, it's a zoom for you to view your timeline. If you had a lot of clips, you might not want it to be as zoomed out or zoomed in as this. So then you can adjust that. It doesn't change the time of your shots or anything like that. It's just how you see it. Over here, you'll see a couple of buttons here. So let me show you those. I'm just going to zoom in a little so you could see better. So V is video, A is audio. You can have up to 16 tracks of video and up to 16 tracks of audio, depending on how complicated your project is. The lock button keeps it locked so that you can't change or do anything. It doesn't allow me to do anything to it once I lock it. If you just want to get it out of your sight but not delete it, the eyeball will toggle the track so that you can't see it in the viewfinder when we look at the program monitor. And then M is mute. So if we want to mute the entire track, you would hit M, and then when we play, you wouldn't be able to hear it at all. And again, that's so that we don't have to delete. We can just mute it, keep it on the track, or hide it from ourselves so that we can't see it. So let me get back out of that view. So we have this up here. If we want to trim some more, make it shorter or longer, then when I move my mouse to the beginning or the end of the clip, you'll see a red arrow. And then that will allow you to clip, to move them, to shorten them, to make them longer, and you can do them from the front or the back. So that's one way of more precisely editing, is to mark an in and an out up here, drag it down, and then trim using the red arrow if I want. So then the next step is going to be pulling my next clips on.